Hello, Red Eye. I'm Nat Faxon.
And I'm Jim Rash. And
we are
together.
We're
co-writers
and co-directors of the Way Back.
It comes out July 5th. Boy,
you blew that.
You blew that big time.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave you a note, then you gave me a note at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought we were still talking.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I thought you pulled off.
An 11.
1.
You guys have had a little time in Chicago while you're here. You went to RL for lunch
We
that
did.
year?
We did,
Yeah.
yes.
What'd you guys order?
We kept it
the
simple.
exact same thing.
We did.
Best
we
friends.
had mussels,
We had mussels.
soups, and salads.
It
Yeah.
sounds like we had plural, but we had one soup
Well,
and
we
one
had
salad.
yes.
We had soup and salad. We had tomato bisque, and we had an arugula salad.
Yeah.
Did you say your orders at the same time, awkwardly, and
No, I
jinx each
ordered
other?
it, and he just said, I'll have what he's having,
Yeah.
because I make good choices.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
It pretty much speaks to our relationship.
In what way?
Well, Jim
Everything
decides,
I
and
say
then I
is
say, "That's right. We'll do what Jim said."
Mm-hmm.
So
Seems like a healthy writing partnership.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's why it works so well.
It's a great marriage.
Well, of course, you guys are coming off of Descendants, won an Oscar for it, so great. How much does it mess with your mind when your first produced movie wins an Oscar?
It's hard because I almost don't think your mind's with you during that whole process because you're so out of body. It's like it's hard for you to even process, let alone how to comprehend that you had this to have lucked out and gotten a chance to be a part of a project with a book that was already so great by Callie Hart Hemmings, and then to come aboard and be able to take our first stab at adaptation, and then working with Alexander Payne. So it's like it really was a perfect storm of like a fortune for that.
Well, what do you mean out of mind? Like, do you feel like that whole process, what do you think of when you think back on that and that out of mind feeling?
It still feels surreal and dreamlike, and like you can't believe it happened. And I mean, I still feel that way looking back. Like, did that really happen? And then, but it certainly has been wonderful to look back on, and also has been wonderful in the sense that it's helped us do other things as well for this movie, for example.
Have you ever met anyone who doesn't like water parks, and what does that say about someone?
That they hate fun.
Yeah.
Or that they're a germaphobe.
They're germaphobe, or they're just a good friend of Gloria. No, they are a germaphobe because I'm a bit of one. So shooting at water, that water was sometimes a challenge for me. Not because it wasn't clean, but just it's a lot of people sharing bathrooms. But
you've never seen someone get so high up on their tippy toes when walking around.
Care to demonstrate, Jim?
No, I can't. Well, if I had my shoes on, you'd just see my toes curl under that and just sort of walk like big nubs. But the water parks are like what I loved about. We shot at a place in South Shore of Boston, and it was like a good family-run sort of water park, which reminded us more of what we probably went to early, because now it's more connected to theme parks, or they're a little bit more corporate, tied to something bigger. So while they're all great and they have these amazing new rides, this has good rides, but it just felt old school. Remember what I had? It's like getting the mats, going down on these quite simple tube rides. Yeah.
What are some important water park do's and don'ts that you remember from growing up? Or things that maybe rules that you violated?
Maybe
everyone
going to the bathroom barefoot.
Oh, is that a rule?
I think that's just a self-imposed rule.
Oh my God, I would adhere to that now. I would not.
I did not as a child, but now I would
go.
be a little bit more skeptical of going into those bathrooms without shoes on.
Heebie-jeebies.
No,
no running.
No running. There are rules. I mean, you can't curl up your mat and go down on your stomach because you will go super fast. But
how many times did you do that?
A lot.
Yeah. And you also always wanted to try to go right after someone or something, and that would just space you apart. And now it's more intense because I think, as I remember, it was like and go. But sometimes they're watching until they get, they can see you go almost to the bottom before they release someone else.
Well, how much surprise, if any, have you gotten from people as a result of playing characters that kind of have these outsized personalities, some more goofy presences on screen, and then you bring a lot of like maturity and insight and humor too. But like, are people surprised that your writing and now directing work doesn't sync up with the kind of goofiness they see on screen?
For sure. I mean, I think we went through a lot of that, especially when we were talking about The Descendants in particular. You know, that we came from a sketch background, that we that Nat and I met at the Grounds Theater in Los Angeles, and they're like, how do you sketch guys? You know, how does this come from you? And I think we were always answering that with, you know, whether it's sketch, you know, our training came from talking about character, and it's character-based comedy, but even beyond that, it's about, like, we were always taught to sort of mind what we know, to think of our families, to think of specificities in that, and to find that what makes them real, whether we're going to play it at a heightened, sort of put on a wig and be played heightened. So I think there's this natural evolution for writers. I don't think that you get stuck in one thing. It's the same reason as a comedy writer saying, I'm going to challenge myself. I want to evolve and try this more dramatic piece, or this is a very passion project. But you never lose that love for all those things. So I think it's always a balance for us. And plus, as actors, I think it's just fun to have a place to release that part of us, you know, that gets to do something crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as long as, you know, you keep it grounded, you know, certainly depending on what the stage is, whether it's the groundling stage or whether it's shooting a movie, you know, there's some sense of true honesty underneath it. And I think that's what helps connect, you know, to and make it identifiable to others.
Would you be up for doing an improv game here if I gave you characters?
Sure. Always.
One of you is a mascot for a fast food chain, and the other is a hungry teenager.
Okay, one of us is a mascot for a fast food chain. Chain.
It can be you.
Okay.
And I'm a hungry teenager.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we get. We're just.
And you're both outside the fast food chain 5 minutes before it closes.
Okay.
Hey, I was hoping to get
Hey.
a cheeseburger.
I don't have them in my suit. I gotta go inside. I'm just outside here, trying to get people into the business. All right.
But it feels like, you know, you could maybe talk to the manager just because.
Look, guy. All right. What?
You're actually a person?
I'm a real guy in here. You thought
I always thought you were. I thought you were Rally the Rally Burger.
No, I'm not Rally the Rally Burger. I'm Bob Parsons. This is my second job. I've got 3 kids who don't speak to me, so that's the truth, all right?
And now the restaurant is on fire.
Oh, good, it's burning down.
Rally!
I'll go find a better job. And scene. That's actually a good scene.
It was. We
That
nailed
was
it.
awesome. I like that.
We nailed it.
What's your favorite part of Wet Hot?
Oh.
When they go to town is my favorite
Oh, the
part.
montage.
When they go to the montage where they go to town,
And they
like
get
basically
drugged
become
out.
drugged out, and then they come back and they're like, "What a great day!"
Oh, for me it was when they go to Reds. Well, there's 2. One is when they do Godspell and then everyone boos them because it was the best part of the talent show, and then for some reason they just go boo like they offended them. But it was when they went to rescue the kids in the river. That was they looked like still water, and the kids were just like, oh. And then Kim Marino runs in to save them, and I forget his name, but he's a member of the state as well, and he stays in the camera. He's like, he's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it. Watch out for the, yeah. And then they run up.
It's all the reaction.
There was no way to shoot all this action. I just thought it was so funny that this one was just telling us that it was happening,
it's
and
really
it was
funny.
okay.